Chill motherfucking lows, peoples. It's the Critic Corp. I am Toke. And as you know, fresh out the motherfucking theaters here. Just got done witnessing the film One Battle After Another, starring Leo, crazy ass. Man, he just blows my mind, bro. His performances is just out of this world. Shout out to Leo for still just being that guy. He's like up there with Cruz with me as far as, you know, elite peer talent in acting. But this film, man, it was one to remember, but not at the same time, if you get what I'm saying. Like, all right, I'm gonna go with the good first. I'm gonna go with the good, and then I'm gonna roll out with the bad. So surprisingly, this film really did make me laugh out loud, like in the theaters, out, just burst out laughing type of deal. And it truly made you care for the characters, like all the characters in this film. And that's really hard to achieve, you know, having some tenderness feeling for a bad guy in a film. Because 9 times out of 10, most people are rooting for a good guy. And this one had you mixed feelings for both. And on top of that, beyond the chaos, because it was a lot of chaos, especially in the first and second act. Like, the momentum was wild. It was fucking wild. We don't talk about that third act, though. We'll talk about that when we get to the bad part. But yeah, beyond the chaos, the film beautifully shows the strength and deep desire for a father and a daughter to reunite, despite the baggage one carries, and just showing how much love is bigger than that. You know, they really proved how much love is bigger than that. And I really loved that. And shout out to Chase Infinity, who portrayed Leo's daughter in this one. She really held her own amongst, like, heavyweights. She stood her ground. Shout out to her. I don't know who did the casting and thought this was a good idea to put this little girl in there, like, just throw her out in the wild like that, but she did her thug dizzle. Because you had Leo. You had Sean Penn, which I was unrecognizable as Fook. Yeah, man, Leo was very just perfectly unhinged in this film. Sean Penn, he was vile, just a pure villain, unrecognizable, you just despised him with pure hate, but also cared for him. You had Benicio del Toro, Sensei in this motherfucker. You had Wood Harris as one of the revolutionaries. You had Regina King, as one of the other revolutionaries. Fucking, you had Tiana Taylor in there too. Like, bro, this casting was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Had some range. I'll give it that. But this is what makes me torn in between of giving it a higher rate than 8. Like, I want to give it, a part of me wants to give it a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, but then I sit there and really thought about it, and this is what these were the dilemmas I had with it. This is what I saw, I witnessed, I analyzed. If you really sit back and think about it, every character was a monster. You know, some were just more monsters than others. Like, every single character had some type of villainous motive in them, and that just left me just very flabbergasted after I thought about that fact. What the pacing in the final act dragged a little bit too long for my liking. Don't get me wrong, like I said, the car chase scene was fucking great. The cinematography in it was great, but it just felt like it dragged on. Like, this film was almost 3 hours, guys. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes, and I felt like it could have been shortened with how long they dragged the final act to maybe at least a little bit under 2.5 hours. Like, maybe like 2 hours and 25 minutes or something. Like, something like that, bro. Like 2 hours and 30 minutes even. Like, come on. Like, they were fooling in that final act. And then this is the real big one right here for me. For as crazy of views and rants, high rants at that, about this film and how good it was, or how unbelievable it was, which it kind of was in the first and second act, but yeah, lost momentum for me. It just wasn't, but let me get to it. It just wasn't, how can I put this? It was very facetious. You know, in other words, it wasn't as quite as thought-provoking as I expected it to be. The dialogue the dialogue shines when it comes to the comedy aspect of it, but it just really falls short when it tries to fuel a meaningful rebellion. That part, it just lacked. Again, like I said, very facetious. Nothing more about it. I think I'm going to, with that note, I'm just going to, yeah, I'll give it a 7.7 out of 10. 7.7 out of 10. Yeah, that's what I'll do. But don't let my opinion ruin you guys' going to see this movie. Still go check it out and leave some comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this one, because I'm very curious. Like I said, I had mixed feelings on it as a whole, but it was still a fun watch. Leo's always a fun watch, especially when he got to snap and turn up over the phone like that, and you see it in his face. He's pure yelling at the top of his lungs. That's something I got to see in film. I got to see. It's hilarious. Leo's a hoot. But thanks for always tuning in. Like and subscribe. Support the motherfucking corp. And so be it. To the motherfucking loo.